My species does not dream, but if we did, I would dream of butter. Specifically, the brown butter Elsa makes on Tuesday mornings when she thinks no one is watching. She lets it foam, nutty and gold, then adds a whisper of lemon thyme. The aroma molecules drift from my tank's filtration system, and I pulse involuntary violet with what humans call desire. I am Kazan, from the scout vessel Salinity Gradient, currently AWOL, and living my best life as a rare isopod in a Stockholm restaurant. My Concordan superiors would be horrified. I am supposed to be documenting your protein sources, not tasting them. But, the tasting. Let me explain. My species experiences flavor across 17 sensory spectrums. We can detect molecular bonds breaking, amino acid chains folding, the exact moment Maillard reactions achieve perfection. Food, for us, is not sustenance. It is poetry. It is mathematics. It is the universe explaining itself in delicious edible proofs. Your Earth oceans are decent. 4 out of 10 stars, too much sodium, limited complexity. But what Elsa does with those ingredients? Transcendent. The morning she found me, bleeding exotic, hemolymph into the Baltic, tangled in kelp and my own broken hubris, I was calculating death. Then she lifted me from the water, and I tasted her. Salt, sweat, and coffee, anxiety and determination, the faint residue of dill on her fingers from morning prep work. I pulsed amber before I could stop myself. The closest my chromatophores can get to my people's "you smell delicious and I don't mean as prey" greeting. 6 months later, I am drunk on her proximity. Friday service. My favorite liturgy. I float to my tank, which also keeps at exactly 4 degrees Celsius because I am, despite my intellectual pretensions, a tremendous baby about temperature. The kitchen frowns with heat and urgency. Lena calls orders in her crisp soprano. Anders hums folk songs while scrubbing pans, and Elsa, my Elsa, plates Arctic char with plankton foam so perfect it makes my gills ache. She glances at me. I raise 2 claws. Perfect. The smiles. That smile. If I could bottle the pheromone cascade she produces when pleased, I would drown in it. I would drink it instead of the kelp slurry Michael smuggles me. I would forsake my entire species' careful neutrality for one more hit of that smile. I am, as you say, completely screwed. Clump staring again, Lena murmurs, passing with wine. She suspects. She's too clever not to. But she also leaves me samples of new vintages to test, watching my color reactions to tannin profiles. Last week's Barolo made me flash magenta for 6 full seconds. She laughed and ordered 3 cases. The service ends. Elsa breaks down her station with the efficient grace I've watched develop over months. Her useless ex and human biologist Bjorkman arrives, and I taste fear in the water before he even speaks. You'll keep the water temperature. Still 4 degrees Celsius exactly. I don't think it's good enough for it. Yes, you bureaucratic barnacle, because I prefer it that way. I maintain perfect isopod stillness, but internally I am screaming. This human has the emotional texture of wet cardboard and the curiosity of a barracuda. Dangerous. I'm filing for a temporary relocation order, for proper study. No. No! I pulse distressed violet before I can control it. Elsa's palm finds the glass, warm against my cold prison. We'll figure it out, she whispers. I tap Morse code against the interior. Concordance monitors your people. Do not give me up to your useless ex. What I cannot tap. They will erase you from my memory. They will take every moment of brown butter and your smile and your terrible singing while you dice onions. They will take you and leave me empty. She looks over for a moment and senses my unease as her ex talks over with Elsa. She gives a smile and nod. She won't give me up. I have traveled 17 systems and catalogued 3,000 species, and none of them ever fought for me the way Elsa Lundqvist does without hesitation. I am so catastrophically in love with this human it violates 14 interstellar treaties. Time has passed, and I've been moved from the restaurant over to our home. Or safe house, and I am losing my mind with boredom and sensory deprivation. No Lena's wine samples, no Anders leaving dill offerings, no Elsa's constant beautiful edible presence. Every morning she brings kelp, acceptable, and prawns, divine. sits on the wooden bench and I drink in her scent. Anxiety, determination, and underneath something new. Something that tastes like longing. Without my full translation array, I cannot speak, but I can draw. I press my claw to the condensation on the glass partition. First, my homeworld's twin moons. She's seen this before. Context. Second, a heart. Crude, but you humans are helpfully literal about your symbolism. Third, her face. I am better at molecular gastronomy than portraiture, but I captured the essentials. The wave of hair that smells like citrus shampoo. The jaw I have watched set with determination 1,000 times. She goes very still. I pulse vulnerable Violet and keep my claw pressed to glass. Clump, she whispers, and her voice tastes like revelation. She stands, places her palm opposite my claw. Through the glass I feel her warmth. Through my empathic sense I feel everything else. Recognition, affection, that same longing I've been tasting for weeks but didn't dare name. If I had tear ducts I would weep. Instead I glow soft turquoise, the colour my people use for home. While the delights of her home don't compare with the intensity of her kitchen. It is a French omelette, a sublime arc of pale gold resting on a warmed porcelain plate. Its surface is flawless satin, without a single scorch or bubble, a testament to a violence of heat, perfectly controlled, and then vanished. Inside, I know, is a bévus, not dry, but a barely set custard of egg, butter, and a whisper of creme fraiche. At its peak rests a scant teaspoon of Christophera caviar, the eggs like tiny greyish pearl planets against the yellow sun of the omelette. A sprinkling of minced chive and a single purple chive blossom complete the silent ode. Her fork past the silk. She brings the bite to her lips. The warm, yielding egg, the sudden, cold salinity of the bursting caviar. Her eyes close. Her shoulders drop. A low, almost imperceptible sigh escapes her. It is the sound of a world narrowing to a single, perfect point of cessation. And I taste her satisfaction like the finest wine ever created, complex and layered. The rich unctuousness of fat, the bright punctuation of salt, the profound comfort of perfected technique worth every treaty I've violated to be here. Outside, Stockholm wakes to another grey winter day. Inside her vet, I float in my perfect 4 degrees Celsius water and plot tomorrow's breakfast. Perhaps the brioche, toasted. Yes, to contrast the softness. I am Kazan. I am a glutton, a hedonist, a traitor to my species' careful neutrality. I am also, impossibly, home.